y'all. Is our dream coop really that dreamy? Hey, thanks so much for joining us again in our backyard where we have our ladies and the coop that my husband made for me. The video that we originally posted of our dream coop has gotten so many views and so much love, and so we just want to say thank you for visiting our coop and for giving us a lot of great ideas, for asking a bunch of questions. And so we wanted to give a 1.5-year update. It's been 1.5 years, right?
Yeah. Don't make me do math in front of the camera though. It's
been about 1.5 years, and wanted to just update y'all on what we love still about our coop, what we actually changed, because there's been a couple changes.
Small
little changes. But still changes nonetheless that might help y'all. And then go through some of the questions. I spent 2.5 hours going through the comments. The biggest question we got was, are you going to make plans for this coop?
I'm sorry, I just don't have time to do plans right now. Maybe we'll have plans in the future. Again, I will say the Cottonwood Shanty is the one that we were inspired by the look of. And so if you follow their plans, but instead of 2x4s, use 2x3s. And instead of the siding being 1x6s, use 1x4s.
What about the height though? The height is much taller on the Cottonwood Shanty.
Yeah, so just cut it down to an appropriate height like we did.
People are like you.
You just got in there and we chopped.
I know, but okay, I'm really sorry.
Here, I can show you.
People need plans, and I guess we do not have plans, and we don't have any ambition to make
See,
plans.
I chopped it, where is it? I chopped the 4x4 to about right there where you see the roof pitch going up, right? 4x4 goes right here. And then these rest on the 4x4.
There you go. We're not gonna have any plans. Sorry, I don't think so. The second question that we got asked a lot was, how much was this to build? And I think people were just wondering, do we really actually save money, or is it cheaper to just get someone else to build it or go through Carolina Coops? I did all the totals for everything, the lumber, the roof, the hardware, the mesh hardware for the run, the feeder, the automatic door, every tiny little thing, even the planters. I added it all up and it was about $4,000. Lumber was ridiculous. And
yeah, so lumber's come down since then.
I've heard it's gone up again.
It's gone up again?
I don't know. Somebody said it was ridiculous again.
That's why we use 2x3s, because they're cheaper than 2x4s. And for a chicken coop, like, that's all you need.
You really don't need much more than that. Because someone was asking if you'd build them a coop locally, and how much did you tell them you would charge?
Oh, was it $10,000 or $12,000?
$10,000.
Yeah.
$10,000 he would charge to build this same exact coop, because it's a lot of work. Just keep in mind though, that $4,000 was with a bunch of reclaimed wood that David used to build it. So tell the people what reclaimed wood that you used. About how much wood would you say percentage wise?
I don't know, maybe 30% reclaimed.
30%? Oh my word.
Because the roof decking, about half the siding, the floors, all the 4x4s.
30% reclaimed wood, and it still costs $4,000. Someone had said in the comments that we're gonna be paying for this coop for decades and eggs, and they're probably right. They're probably right. We're gonna include some clips of some of the changes that we made while we're just sharing them with you. But the first change that we made, I guess sooner than later, was, remember I had the cups on the watering system?
Yeah.
We actually changed those to the nipples.
Yeah. We did.
And why did we do that?
One, cleaning out the cups.
Yeah.
But that wasn't too bad. I think the biggest frustration is the chickens were always like, vroom, vroom,
yeah, they were running
them.
Into the cups.
And so you get a cup that would go, vroom, like,
and,
and then it's just constantly in on mode and draining your rain barrel. And so,
yeah. And like I said, it was a little more sanitary too. There was getting some gunkies, some really bad stuff in the cups, and I just feel like the nipples are more sanitary. The reason I got the cups because I wanted them to be able to get a lot of water fast, but we went through a really hot summer. This just got over it, and they seem to be fine.
Yeah, so we have one summer with cups and one summer with nipples, and they're fine. I will say with the nipples, though, we went with the brand from Tractor Supply, and those leaked.
Oh, yeah, so we did get the Rent-A-Coop nipples. The Rent-A-Coop ones are on right now.
Yeah, the Rent-A-Coop ones, and they don't leak. They've been on there for about a year now, I guess.
Yeah, they're doing great.
Because we switched to them pretty quickly.
The other thing that David changed was we had a freeze this last winter as well, which was really bizarre. The snow we've been getting every winter, and we had a pipe that busted in our rain capture system. So what'd you do?
I fixed it.
You fixed it.
I just added a valve so that we could open up the air and drain it. So if we ever do have a freeze, it won't bust the pipe anymore.
Yeah.
But then you guys might be like, well, why don't you put in a heater for the water? Like,
oh,
well,
yeah.
We're in San Antonio. So if I open it up, it's
bug?
for like...
Hold on. Did you see that bug?
I kind of did.
I
just ignored it
us.
because the internet's here.
I'm sorry. It was freaking me out. Why don't we have a heater? Oh, that was one of the questions, actually.
Yeah,
why didn't we run electricity to the coop?
Because we're in San Antonio. Like the benefit of electricity to the coop would be
it's
marginal.
Very small, and honestly,
kind of no point.
What I responded back to that person was, we've had this coop with one winter and one freeze, and they were fine. This coop is wonderfully insulated. The people that had the most problem when I was on my forums and like chicken pages and groups or whatever were the folks that had open coops, because it does get so hot here. Most people will just do like a 3-sided type coop, and those folks actually lost some chickens. I did not lose one chicken in the freeze. So
you said insulated, but I think it's important to clarify.
We did not use insulation.
Yeah, because it's still a ventilated coop.
Correct.
But the wind is blocked.
The wind is blocked.
So that's what you mean by insulated.
Yes, that's what I mean. I mean, like, you can shut all these windows, you can shut. It just makes it nice and warm in there.
So the two big things for keeping chickens alive in the winter, and we had chickens in Montana, is keeping them dry and keeping them out of the wind.
Yeah. Sorry about the dog.
They
just let the dog out. That's Cusco. He loves me, but he doesn't know David very well. Speaking of windows, some folks were asking us if we actually purchased the windows, and we did not. David built them. Maybe you can do a separate video of how you built the windows for those folks.
Separate video?
Milk it.
Oh, milk it.
Milk it. We could probably answer this one though. What stain did you use for the vintage door and the Dutch door thing?
It's 2 stains. Weathered gray and ebony from the...
You mixed them.
Yeah, you mix them. So 2 parts weathered gray, 1 part ebony, and just mix it, shake it all up, and that's what gives the weathered gray like a darker look.
Yeah, and then I went in and I used some of that cream paint and just kind of dry brushed some on spots. I think I even used... No, it was just the cream paint. So I just kind of dry brushed it and made it look kind of antique-y, which is fun.
And then we put clear coat over that.
We did. We totally sealed it up. We had a question about the metal roof, what color it was. Some people thought it was blue. I have a film emulation that I put on my videos to give it like a filmy look, and it's a filter, and so I think it was making the metal roof look blue. But
yeah, it's just galvanized.
It's just galvanized roof. It's not really any color. Another question we got asked was, do we let our ladies free range? The answer is yes. When we're out here with them, we have a lot of hawks in our area, and sometimes they're literally sitting in a branch just watching them. So I can't let them free range during the day because there's just too much of a risk for one of them to get eaten.
Also cats.
Oh, we do have a lot of stray cats here too, actually, yeah. So we have to be present with them, and we try to do that as much as we can, and it's super fun because they're hilarious to watch around in the yard, scratching around and stuff like that. For this size run, which is 120 square feet, we can fit humanely 12 chickens. I think that's too crowded, me personally. I have 9 chickens in my run, but I still have a little bantam. I still think that's a bit tight, I guess. So I would like to stay at 8 chickens. We've been getting quite a bit of eggs, and right now they're molting, so there's like feathers everywhere. Inside looks like a pillow got destroyed, but they're slowly getting back to producing eggs. Which brings me to, will I let my chickens live out their life when they stop laying? It's a really good question. When you kind of start homesteading, you kind of have to think about like what's coming in versus what's going out. And we do buy a really nice feed for these ladies, and I love them. We've invested so much in this coop so they can have a happy life and be safe. And would I let one of my girls just live out 3 years not giving me eggs? I want to say yes, but I really like eggs. and eventually they're all gonna stop laying eggs, you know, like some of them will die, you know, that just happens, but I can't answer that right now. My heart wants to say yes. I'll let them live out their life, but I might cull them. I don't know. Actually, Friday I'm going to harvest chickens on my friend's farm. So I've done it before, and I can do it peacefully and humanely and respectfully, knowing that I gave that bird like the best life it could have. Would you say we're satisfied with the run size?
Yeah, I don't see
how it could be any bigger. Yeah. That run size is good, I think, for this size of a yard. I kind of want to talk about the hemp litter, the hemp deep litter method, which is great because we still haven't changed it.
Nope.
So
we've added to it.
We've added to it. We have not changed the hemp. And I had a very interesting comment from someone who does not have chickens saying that, like, not sanitary and so. Okay, let me just help you. Chickens aren't sanitary, okay? They're just not sanitary. And this way of doing your litter is actually, there's no smell. I stuck my head in there today. I haven't even fluffed it. I haven't fluffed the hemp in months. I used to fluff it every other week, but I literally have not fluffed the hemp in like months. And I'm gonna do B-roll, insert it, and you can see, like, I mean, it just looks like chicken hemp and poo, whatever. It does not smell though. It's so weird. It just does. It's magical. I don't know how it works. It just doesn't smell.
Yeah, people that come over when they're wondering about all that, they stick their head in, they're like, wow, it
I don't smell
really
anything.
Doesn't smell like anything.
Oh, which brings me, okay, so we actually were part of the San Antonio Chicken Coop tour. So our coop got featured and was on the tour, where people all around San Antonio would just go visit other coops. People came in and they had little booties for their shoes so they wouldn't be like cross-contaminating flocks and stuff like that. And so everybody came in, they really enjoyed our coop, and the biggest compliment we got, because that was about a year. That was a year with the hemp litter. Nobody complained at all. Like, no one could smell it. They thought it was fascinating, and they all wanted to switch to the deep litter method. So it's really an investment when you get all the hemp, but I love that I don't have to clean it out every week. It's so low maintenance, and that's what I need to keep chickens. Someone had asked if the hemp generates heat. I mean, I'm sure there's some composting going on a little bit, but I don't
San Antonio generates heat.
Right. So, I mean, we haven't had any problems with overheating birds in the coop. So I'm guessing no. I don't know. Maybe it does, but it hasn't been a problem.
No, and it's ventilated fine.
Yeah, so the biggest thing is like ventilation for your coops to make sure the ammonia is not building up. And again, for some reason, this hemp is like absorbing everything. It's crazy. We also had a little bit of a funny comment to me that my automatic door was not good because it can crush the chickens, or I would get a dead flock. That door can't crush anything. It is literally, it doesn't operate that way. It's a motor with a string, and it lowers the string. So if a chicken happens to get stuck, it's just gonna rest. This little light door will rest on their back until they get through. It can't crush anything. And even if I had leaves that were to get the door stuck, this is so Fort Knox that nothing's getting into this run. In fact, my neighbor, Cusco's dad, he saw 3 raccoons on my coop on top of the roof on the run trying to get into the coop, and they could not figure it out.
The coop sits under a tree, and it's under an oak, and so it sheds its leaves, and we haven't had a problem with leaves getting the door stuck.
No, it's a redundancy really for us. Someone had asked about the feed. How do we keep the varmints from the feed? And our feeder, again, in the first video you'll notice, we got the Rent-A-Coop Treadle? Is that what it's called? The one where the chickens sit on it and then they eat their food. It opens up the latch and they eat their food. That's
in the first video.
Yeah, it's in the first video. That's the one we got, and we have not lost any food at all. Like, it's been about right, the amount of food that's being consumed per bird, which is so good for saving money. You're not feeding mice instead of your chickens. Everything's been working beautifully. The only things we've had to change are the cups to the nipples. We added the flush out thing for the rain capture system, and if we were to change anything, which in the first video we said we were going to make the truck bed thing shorter, or less wide.
But we hadn't even opened up that yet since we built.
We haven't
that's
cleaned
like
it out yet, so
once every 2 years thing.
It's definitely way more poopy than it was before. Chickens don't care how much work you put into building their coop. They're going to crap all over it, and so yeah, that's just the way it is. Then we had some comments in regards to the kind of roost that we have for the ladies. I actually did research that quite a bit. Again, I wanted to provide the best I could for them. There was a bunch of mixed reviews actually about the roosts. I think the rope is a great idea to wrap the, is it 2x3? You use a 2x3?
No, they're 2x4s, but they're routed on all four corners, okay, so they're not flat.
Right, he routed the 2x4s, so they're like this. They're not like, you know, square. It's not, I guess people were saying their feet were gonna get deformed. I don't know how long that takes, but so far their feet look great. We haven't had a problem. I did make a decision based on what I read and researched, and that's what we chose. They haven't complained to me yet.
And their feet look fine.
Yeah, and their feet look fine. I kind of wanted to do a little introduction. I want to do another video on what I wish someone would have told me before getting chickens, because I've learned a lot having chickens in the last year and a half. But someone had asked me, what kind of chickens do you have? And so I wanted to do a little introduction. So our biggest chicken is a black Australorp, and her name is Laserbeak.
Laserbeak, that's the one I got to name.
David named her, and she is massive, and she used to produce me some double yolk eggs all the time, but she lays a large, like a light brown egg. Then we have Liz, that is a barred rock. She's pretty sassy, but she is, basically I'm taking care of her for my sister's daughter. So my little niece, I decided to give that chicken to her, even though she lives in Canada, but I let her see pictures of Liz all the time. Then we have our Buff Orpingtons. I have a regular Buff Orpington named Missy. We had Buff Orpingtons in Montana, and we had one named Missy up there, so it's kind of like one of those things, we'll always have a Missy. That's a Buff Orpington, and she's really sweet. Then we have another Buff that was supposed to be a golden lace, but she's actually just looks like a dirty Buff Orpington. She's not lacy at all. Her name is Rosemary. Then we have Silly Fran with her side part. She is a cream leg bar, and she's pretty cute as well. She lays me like a pretty green egg. It kind of looks like an Easter egg. After that we have Basil, and this is a black copper Marans. Supposedly it's not really a full-blooded black copper Marans because the egg that she lays is not too dark at all. It just looks like your regular store-bought brown egg. I would eventually love to get an actual French champion line black copper Marans, but for now I've got my sweet Basil. We have my flighty girl Trudy. She's a cross between an Easter egger and a blue Langsham. She's extremely healthy. But this is Trudy, and this is little Lady Clutch. She is my Bantam Cochin, and she's got these sweet little feathery feet, and I just love her so much. She's probably my sassiest of all my chickens, but she is getting kind of beat up by Laserbeak right now. I think they're having like a little power trip of who's the best. But she's little, but she's feisty, and one of my faves. Don't tell the rest. And my latest addition to my flock is a Lavender Cuckoo Americana, and I named her Bella. I named her Bella because she is absolutely beautiful, although this summer for some reason she's gotten real dirty. But she's super cute with her beard and muff. So those are my chickens. I love them. They're so sweet, and they're all laying unless they're molting. Lady Cluck just got over being broody, actually. I did want to add one more thing. Some people were saying the only thing they would have added is a roof over the run section, and I don't know if you can see, but there's like this giant tree that is covering and giving shade to the chicken coop. So when it rains really hard, it actually doesn't, it's not too bad in the run. We've had some really intense rains. I never see the chickens like just doused in mud. There's also a section under the coop that they can go to for shelter. They've been totally fine.
Yeah, and they're in the shade by lunchtime.
Yeah, so.
With this tree here.
Right, the home tree does a lot of great things for us. I think that's it. I think that's all I wanted to say, just to kind of give you all an update on how it's been after a year and a half. We still absolutely adore our chicken coop. I do need to get a fall wreath though. That was my wreath for, I've been slowly adding. 4th of July? Yeah, 4th of July. I've been slowly adding wreaths for different seasons, and it's been super fun. I just love it. Is there anything else you wanted to add?
I think that's about it.
Thanks y'all for spending your time with us today, hearing all of the details of how we've loved the coop after a year and a half, and I hope the adjustments maybe helped and it was fun for you to meet the flock. Let me know if you'd be interested in that video about what to know before you get chickens, and if you'd be interested in like a good explanation of how we did the windows. Would you do that?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Cool, awesome. Well, thanks again for hanging out with us, and we'll see you later. Bye.
Oh, wait, you forgot to wear your hat.
Oh my gosh.
We need to redo the whole video.
No.